All right, guys, welcome to part two, and let's go ahead and get into it. Our next game is the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Raptors, and that's going to be a 7:30 Eastern tip-off in Toronto. The Raptors are -6 total at 218.5, so a 1-point fade of Toronto and movement downward on the total. The Raptors open as the 7-point favorite, down to -6. Total open 221.5, down to 218 and a hook. 52% are leaning Toronto, 66% shaded toward the over. And right now, Brooklyn's plus 225 on the money line. The Knicks putting together, a slew of victories here as of late. Winners of 4 out of their last 5. They also rank in the top 3 in offensive rebounding, top 5 in defensive field goal percentage. Brooklyn's currently the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference, and they are 5 games ahead of Washington, who are the 9th seed. So they are pretty comfortable in that 7th seed. Nice little buffer between the 7th seed and the 9th seed. And the reason why I use that example is because, the 9th seed really, that's what I like to do. I don't know why I do it. But anyway, Brooklyn, top 3 in offensive rebounding on the road, top 5 in defensive field goal percentage on the road as well. We're looking at a Toronto squad on the other side who's 5-1 to the over in their last 6, 70% to the over in their last 10. I like Brooklyn to keep it close. Toronto red hot right now. I don't think they're particularly fade material in this spot, but I'm not so sure how long this winning streak can go. And I think Brooklyn will keep it close. So, like I said, Toronto not fade material, but I'm going to lean Brooklyn plus 6 and the over 218.5 in that game. All right, Clippers taking on the Timberwolves. 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Minnesota. The Clippers open 7.5 up to -8.5. Total open 230 up to 231. 59% are leaning Clippers. 67% on the over. Right now the T-Wolves are plus 310. Timberwolves, they lost their last 13 straight. They are not record-wise, but right now they are the worst team in basketball. Losers of their last 13 straight. Unbelievable. They also failed to cover the point spread in their last 9 straight as well. They've had 25 home games this year. They've been victorious in just 6 of them. They're also just 5-20 against the spread at home as well. Just unbelievable. Minnesota, bottom 5 in offensive field goal percentage, dead last in shooting the 3-ball. They're giving up 115 points per contest on their home court. And Russell is listed as questionable for tonight's action. Now, the Clippers on the other side, they're a little bit banged up themselves. Beverly's out. Morris is questionable. But the Clippers, winners of their last 3 straight, 8-2 straight up in their last 10. They rank in the top 5 in scoring, top 3 in offensive rebounding. And a lot of folks out there, a lot of experts out there, think that the Clippers are really the front runners now after the trade deadline. So, anyway, they think that they won the city of Los Angeles. Only time will tell, but as far as this game's concerned, I like the Clippers -8.5 and the over 231 in that contest. All right, next game. That is the Lakers, and they're taking on the Warriors, 8:30 Eastern tip-off in Golden State. The Lakers open as the 13-point favorite, up to -13.5. Total open 224 down to 223 and a hook. 66% are leaning Lakers, 69% on the over. Right now, Golden State's plus 750 on the money line. Now, Draymond's listed as questionable for tonight's action. But believe it or not, guys, Golden State doing a pretty good job covering the number at home. They're terrible this year. I get that. But you'd think their ATS record at home would be worse, but it's not. They're 12-12 against the spread on their home court. That's a lot better than, you would originally think if you didn't know the ATS numbers there. They also rank in the top 3 in offensive free throw percentage, so that's one thing that they're doing well. You can't foul them. Don't put them to the line because they're going to make you pay. Now, Lakers on the other side, Anthony Davis. He's banged up. He's listed as questionable. There is a chance we may not see him in tonight's action. The Lakers, 2-3 straight up in their last 5. I still think they're a little bit down after the Kobe tragedy. So, there's going to come a point in the season. There's going to be a big game or a big comeback that's really going to rally the troops. But right now, still, I think a little bit somber in that locker room. The Lakers also just 40% against the spread in their last 10. Now, total-wise, Good amount of unders for this Golden State team, primarily because they struggle to score, but they are 14-10 to the under on their home court. I think Golden State should keep this one within double digits, but I'm going to take the Warriors plus 13.5 and the under 223.5 in that game. Next matchup, Nuggets taking on the Suns, 9 o'clock Phoenix. Denver open as the 2-point favorite up to -3. Total open 218.5 down to 217 and a hook. 69% are leaning Denver, 71% on the over. Right now, Phoenix is plus 155 on the money line. Baines, Johnson, Saric, they're all listed as questionable for the Suns. Phoenix kind of struggling at home this year. Winners of just 10 out of 27 games at the Talking Stick Resort. They're also just 11-16 against the spread on their home court as well. They rank in the bottom 10 in the NBA in offensive rebounding. They're also in the bottom 10 in points allowed at home. Denver on the other side, winners of 4 out of their last 5. They've also covered 70% of their games in their last 10. Barton and Porter are out, so keep that in mind. But regardless, Denver, very good defensively. Top 3 in points allowed, top 10 in defensive rebounding. They're giving up just 106 points per contest. Phoenix on the other side, 6-3 to the under in their last 9. I'm going to lean Denver -3 and the under 217.5 in that game. Next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Spurs taking on the Kings, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Sacramento. We had a good old-fashioned flip of the line in this one. The Spurs open up as the 1-point dog, now -2.5. Total open 224 down to 223 and a hook. 61% are leaning Spurs, 60% shaded toward the over. San Antonio, they struggle on the road. Winners of just 8 out of 25 road games. They rank in the bottom 10 in points allowed on the road, bottom 10 in road defensive rebounding as well. Sacramento on the other side, 5-2 straight up in their last 7. They beat Miami and the Clippers during that stretch of victories. They also rank in the top 10 in defensive rebounding. Now, total-wise, the Spurs are 16-9 to the over when traveling. I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me Sacramento plus 2.5 and the over 223.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Vernon Williard, YTPO. YTPO, troll game extra strong. I appreciate it. I laugh out loud. I love it. It's good stuff. Shout out to Renisha Brown, Rocco's Pizza, Sean Doty, Almighty Addo TV. Shout out to Charlie XCX, Guardian Angel, Injustice Berserker. Shout out to Roy Munson, who shared a very funny Seinfeld clip when Kramer was in the sports, not the sports book, the race book, the little race book in Manhattan. So thank you, Roy. Got a good laugh out of that one. Shout out to Jose Alfredo. Jose, very, very good troll game as well. A little bit broken English, but I understand. I get the point. Very good job trolling me, Jose. Shout out to Chris Nasca. And last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Giovanni Diaz. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. And I'm going to plug one more commercial for my Patreon website before we cut out here. I got to remind you guys to check me out on that website, patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are currently 4-0 in our last 4 NBA package picks on that site. We're also 6-2 in our last 8 crowd pleaser teasers on that site as well. Now, you may be wondering, once again, why would I buy a package when, Brock just handicapped the entire slate for free right here on YouTube? And you're exactly right. But the problem with that is if you were going to bet every single game on the board here, side and total with your hard-earned money, you're going to lose that money very fast. Your hard-earned money, you're going to lose hard, and you're going to lose it very quick. The more games and angles and action that you have, the more aggressive and egregious the math becomes against you. The books are way too smart. They're way too sharp. They have way too much money. They can absorb that action. You cannot. So what I do on Patreon, I make life a lot easier for you. I break it down to 3 to 4 premium picks per day, premium high percentage picks, games that I personally have action on. I bet right on my sports betting app on my phone. And I'll tell you this much, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube. Throwing darts, picking games in my underwear with my eyes closed. So guys, if you want to check out my current record, you can do that for free right now. All you have to do is, click the link in the description section below. It's right on the homepage. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on my website later today at patreon.com/BrockPage.